Good evening, Southeast Texas and Southwest Louisiana. I'm meteorologist Lucas Bostwick. Taking a look at radar this evening, and we don't have anything really to talk about as far as that's concerned, and shouldn't have anything really to talk about until at least tomorrow. So current temperatures are running right now in the lower 80s in general, but a few mid 80s out there as well. There's also, like for instance, an 86 still in Huntsville, so it's still pretty warm out there. Satellite radar over the past 3 hours shows that we have a lot more clouds starting to kind of move over the area, mainly high cirrus clouds that are coming across, and those will continue to kind of drift across for the next few hours, but there are some storms still out well to our northwest. Nothing really, though, here locally as far as that's concerned. But overnight, we do expect a lot of clouds to continue to drift across. Maybe a couple of light showers is possible as well, but overall, coverage should stay pretty low. As we get into tomorrow, we could see a few showers and storms develop. There's definitely a chance, and as we get into the later parts of the afternoon, we could still see some additional showers and storms. So looking around a 20 to 30% coverage of showers and storms for tomorrow. A little bit better chance though on Sunday, especially for Southeast Texas as a cold front moves in, which we're about to talk about. But first, let's talk about that system out east of the Lesser Antilles. The Hurricane Center has now dropped the chance to 60%. A lot of dry air is causing a lot of trouble for this system, and it may not develop at all. So some good news on the tropics is that it's looking pretty grim for this system. Locally, though, we do have this cold front that will be pushing into the area on Saturday into Sunday. And we see that that front does move offshore. And by Sunday into Monday, we really and truly have a lot of good weather coming up. That's 6 p.m. on Monday, and we see we have a lot of clear skies, and there's going to be much drier air moving in from the northeast in particular. So some very good weather coming up, and for the Tuesday morning time frame into Wednesday. Monday also for the high looks pretty good around the upper 80s instead of 90s like we've been having. Atmospheric moisture though over the next few days shows that we will have a bit more moisture tomorrow, not a lot, but a little bit increasing moisture. And as we get into Sunday, that's our best time frame. But look at all of that dry air moving in Monday. My goodness, that's a lot of dry air. Those dew points are going to really plummet. We're going to be seeing dew points probably in the 50s, which means it's going to feel pretty nice. And relative humidity values might be in the 35% range going on Monday. So it's going to be considerably drier. And that will also allow the temperature to fall a little bit overnight. So our lows will be in the 60s, it looks like, coming up for next week, at least in the early to mid part of the week. And then we see that that dry air does eventually start to push out by Wednesday, but that's a lot of dry air that we still have to talk about. And even then, it's not a huge return of moisture just right away. So rain chances are pretty low after Sunday. In fact, we're going 0 at the moment, but you'll see that in a minute. First off, let's talk about lows tonight. In the northern regions, we're looking at low 70s for lows overnight, and then around 80 at the beach. Highs tomorrow, though. Oops, went too far back. So you can go back on that. Oh, there we go. Highs tomorrow are going to be in the low and mid 90s in general. And then, of course, we see the 7-day outlook here, and we're going to have 30% chance of rain tomorrow, and then a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. And then we see that it does get cooler as we get towards the early part of next week. We have that low of 64 on Tuesday. And then we have a gradual warming trend that starts up on Wednesday, especially into Friday. Southwest Louisiana, is going to have the same type of weather. But look at that, 63 possibly on Tuesday morning, so pretty cool out there. And then we should have those temperatures starting to warm up a little bit after that. Be sure to check our channel, youtube.com/@GulfCoastWeather. That's on YouTube, of course. And then our Facebook page, Gulf Coast Weather Solutions. Make sure you like and subscribe. A shout out to Do Good Federal Credit Union and all of our other sponsors for making this video possible. And you have a good weekend, and try not to get too hot, and enjoy the cooler weather that will be starting up pretty soon on Sunday into the early part of next week. Have a good night.